Did you know that every 40 seconds someone in the US has a stroke? And the risk not only increases with age, but also doubles every decade after age 65. But what makes experts most heartbreaking is that up to 80% of serious strokes can be prevented if the person just changes a few simple habits in the morning. This is not general advice. This is the truth drawn from thousands of cases that leading neurologists have treated over many years. And the strange thing is, why do these doctors, despite being in contact with stroke patients every day, rarely have strokes? The answer lies in the 6 morning habits they maintain. Actions that only take 2 minutes, but have an almost absolute brain-protecting effect. Most people don't know about them. No one teaches you in the hospital, and they are not prescribed in any medicine. But today, we're going to unveil a secret that neuroscientists often keep to themselves. And you'll understand why just 2 minutes each morning can make the difference between a healthy, independent life or a fatal fall that robs you of your speech, movement, and personal freedom. Before we explore those 6 habits, I want to tell you a true story. A man who seemed perfectly healthy until everything changed in an instant. And what makes his story all the more unfortunate is that he found out too late. Richard, 68, was a former principal of a high school in Ohio. A calm, intelligent man who lived a healthy lifestyle and kept to his health records. He had annual checkups, and the results showed that he was aging well. No diabetes, no high cholesterol, no abnormal blood pressure. He was the epitome of a comfortable retiree, enjoying his old age with his family. Until one Sunday morning, it was a familiar brunch with his family. Richard was laughing and joking with his granddaughter when suddenly he collapsed to one side. His lips moved but no sound came out. His face was twisted to one side. His daughter, who had seen a video on stroke recognition, recognized the classic signs: difficulty speaking, facial drooping, paralysis on one side. Richard was having a stroke, and it came without warning. The family immediately called an ambulance. Fortunately, the ambulance arrived in time. The emergency room doctor quickly performed initial intervention, but the damage was done. Richard would never speak clearly again. His right hand was no longer flexible. He needed assistance to do the simplest of daily tasks. And above all, he lost the most precious thing at his age: independence. Later, when Richard's medical records were sent to a leading neurologist to assess the underlying cause, the doctor's words left his family speechless. If he had just done a few simple routines every morning, things that most of us neurologists do, maybe Richard would never have had to lie in bed. From that day on, Richard, despite his many after effects, was determined to spread that message. He told his friends, his loved ones, "If I had known these things earlier, my life would have been very different." Richard's story is not uncommon, but it's a powerful reminder. Complacency can ruin a life in seconds, and sometimes just starting your morning right can help you avoid it all. Now we get to the important part: the 6 morning habits that top neurologists always do, but rarely share with their patients. These habits could be the key to keeping your brain alert, sharp, and protected all day long. Ask yourself this: if neurologists who see stroke patients all day long so rarely have strokes, what are they doing differently? The answer isn't expensive drugs. It's not cutting-edge medical equipment. It's not even a special genetic trait. Instead, they all have one thing in common. Every morning, they follow 6 simple habits that take less than 2 minutes, but are far more effective than any preventative measure you've ever heard of. This isn't common knowledge. You won't find it in prescriptions, nor will it appear in your regular checkup. Most doctors keep it a secret, not out of selfishness, but because they think patients won't persist in doing something too simple. But today, I'm going to reveal that secret to you. 6 habits, 6 scientific, specific, easy-to-apply practices starting tomorrow morning. And not only do they help prevent strokes, they also improve memory, concentration, blood pressure, and even longevity. Let's start with the first habit, the one that 78% of seniors are doing wrong every morning. And it's secretly thickening your blood, creating the perfect conditions for blood clots to form. Habit 1, drink water right when you wake up. The first thing most seniors do after waking up is make a cup of coffee. But according to research from the American Stroke Association, starting the day dehydrated increases your risk of stroke by up to. While you sleep, your body loses water through breathing and sweating. Your blood becomes thicker, making it harder to circulate and more likely to form clots. Most stroke patients who come into the hospital in the morning are dehydrated, says Patricia Landon, MD, Chief of Neurology at Brigham Medical Center. The solution is surprisingly simple. Before you get out of bed, Drink 500 ml of warm water with a few drops of fresh lemon juice. Warm water helps your blood circulate better, while lemon helps break down waste, reduces inflammation, and is an antioxidant. If you start your morning with coffee, keep it second, after water. Thomas, 71 of Nebraska, used to start his day with coffee and never thought he was contributing to a mini stroke that left him with a loss of balance. But after making this small habit change, his blood pressure dropped significantly and his blood flow improved after just 3 weeks. Habit 2, 60-second brain warm-up in bed. Sleeping in the wrong position all night causes the carotid arteries, the main blood supply to the brain, to be compressed. Blood flow is interrupted, and as soon as you wake up, the brain does not get enough oxygen, leading to dizziness, lightheadedness, and even loss of balance. Researchers from Harvard found that just 60 seconds of neck and shoulder movement can increase blood flow to the brain by Do this tomorrow morning while still in bed. Lie on your back, turn your head to the right, hold for 5 seconds. Return to the center, turn to the left, hold for 5 seconds. Tuck your chin slightly toward your chest, hold for 5 seconds. Lift your head and look up at the ceiling. Finish with 5 slow, backward shoulder rolls. Beverly, 67, used to suffer from unexplained dizziness every morning. After performing this exercise regularly every morning, not only did she get rid of the symptoms, but her ability to concentrate significantly improved. Doppler imaging after 3 months showed that blood flow to her brain had increased steadily. Habit 3. Neurologists' anti-inflammatory breakfast recipe. A popular breakfast for many seniors today is white bread, cold cuts, and coffee with milk. This is a combo that accelerates inflammation in blood vessels, increasing strokes by 44% according to the American Journal of Neurology. Neurologists choose the opposite, a breakfast that stabilizes blood sugar, reduces blood vessel inflammation, and increases the elasticity of artery walls. Here's the recipe they use. Quart or cup fresh blueberries, rich in anthocyanins, increase blood vessel elasticity. Half cup plain Greek yogurt, contains probiotics, reduces inflammatory proteins. 1 tablespoon ground flax seeds, plant omega-3s. A handful of walnuts, reduces platelet aggregation in the blood. If you prefer warm food, substitute whole grain oatmeal cooked with cinnamon, helps regulate blood sugar. Douglas, 70, used to eat breakfast the traditional way and couldn't understand why his blood pressure was always high despite taking medication. After switching to the neurologist's breakfast, not only did his blood pressure drop, but his inflammatory markers also improved significantly after just 6 weeks. Habit 4. Measure your blood pressure at the right time. Early morning. High blood pressure in the morning, called a morning surge, is the most accurate indicator of stroke risk, but most patients only measure their blood pressure in the late afternoon or at the clinic. James Matthews, a vascular neurologist at the Mayo Clinic, explains, some people have strokes in the early morning even though their blood pressure is completely normal in the afternoon. It's the 6 a.m., 8 a.m. time frame when their blood is most rebellious. Measure your blood pressure every morning before you eat or drink anything. Sit up straight, put your hand at heart level, rest for 3 minutes. Measure twice, 5 minutes apart. If the number is consistently above 305 or 85, see your doctor to adjust your medication or schedule. Nancy, 73, used to think she was healthy, but after a minor stroke, her doctor discovered that her morning blood pressure was always above the allowable level, something that no regular health checkup had detected. Habit 5. Breathe properly for 30 seconds to clear blood vessels. Few people know that a simple breathing technique every morning can reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and improve brain circulation more powerfully than some drugs. The Mayo Clinic's Center for Neuroscience proves that controlled breathing activates the vagus nerve, the body's center for controlling inflammation and stress. Doing this breathing helps lower cortisol, a hormone that causes blood vessels to constrict, while improving circulation. How to do it? Sit on the edge of your bed, back straight, one hand on your belly. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Feel your belly rise, hold for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Feel your belly fall. Do 4 cycles. Franklin, 66, dropped 22 points in his blood pressure in just 3 weeks with this breathing exercise. His doctor was so surprised that he reduced his medication for the first time in years. Habit 6. The brain boosting trio that 97% of neurologists use. According to an internal survey by the National Institute of Neurological Disorders, nearly all neurologists take a combination of supplements every morning, but rarely tell their patients. The reason? They're not prescription drugs, but their effectiveness has been clearly demonstrated in clinical studies. The supplement includes 1,000 mg omega-3 fish oil, at least 600 mg EPA, 100 mg CoQ10, antioxidant for blood vessels, 500 mg curcumin threonate, the only form that crosses the blood-brain barrier. All should be taken after the first glass of water, at least 30 minutes before breakfast. After 3 months of use, many patients have reported improved memory, lower blood pressure and increased blood flow to the brain. Patricia, 68, once asked her neurologist, "If you were me, what would you do every morning to avoid being like my sister who just had a major stroke?" And the doctor, after a moment of hesitation, shared his own morning routine. That was the turning point that helped Patricia completely change her brain health in just. You've just gone through 6 seemingly simple morning habits that can make the difference between a full life and a fatal fall. The numbers don't lie. Nearly half of stroke survivors need lifelong care, are no longer able to live independently, have a clear voice, can no longer hug their grandchildren, make their own coffee or walk in the park like they used to. And the best part, most of those strokes are preventable, with just a few small changes in the morning. You don't have to be a doctor, you don't need expensive equipment or a rigorous exercise regimen. Just start tomorrow morning by drinking water before your feet hit the ground. Do 60 seconds of simple exercises while you're still in bed. Eat a breakfast that your arteries will thank you for. Take your blood pressure at the right time, not just when you get to the hospital. Breathe right, no meditation, no quiet room, just 30 seconds. And if you can, supplement with the nutrients that neurologists use every morning. This is not distant knowledge. This is the power you have in your hands. Think of Richard, who found out too late. Think of Patricia, who turned her fate around with a timely question. And most importantly, think of yourself and the people you love. Just one action today can prevent regret tomorrow. If you learned something today, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with your parents, your loved ones, those who are at the age where a morning gone wrong could be their last morning walking normally. We will continue to share the secrets that the medical profession has never published. Small habits, but can save a life. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because sometimes life-changing stuff doesn't happen in the hospital. It starts in your bedroom. Are you ready to start tomorrow morning?